Storm Chasers, Al, you are on the other side of the White Dagger Mountains. Alari at your back, the frozen north ahead. What would you like to do?
I'm going to breathe in really deep and hold the Nightingale really close, and then I'm going to look back towards the mountains and find where the two tallest peaks meet, and then I'm going to turn and start walking home using my Outlander ability.
Icy wind sweeping his golden locks, majestic snow-capped peaks in the background. But yes.
Like a Boris Vallejo painting.
Mm-hmm. Hal, you look and you figure with your sense of directions and where you were before, you're probably just north of the Sentinel Forest on the other side of the White Daggers. To the west, you would know would be the Glacial Sea and the Crystal Garden. And you need to head north, cross the icy tundra to your home. Would anyone else like to do anything?
Belladin has his cartography equipment, so he's just going to take note of the mountains where we came out, just the landmarks. So as we go, when we have some downtime, when we're taking watches, he's just going to kind of try and keep track and try and make a map of where we are, because he's never been to this part of the world before.
I mean, now being in Alare, you've seen some winter now and some cold. This is a completely new landscape to you, being from the south. Almost the complete opposite of your home.
Yeah.
And Marisol kind of holds you tightly, Hal, and shivers a bit and pulls her winter coat tighter. Beautiful. A bit terrifying.
It is, but it's home. Can't believe it.
I would say, Belladin, with your passive perception, you can see far, far off in the distance the faint outlines of another mountain range to the north.
Nice. Okay.
Because the day is pretty clear right now. No clouds covers. The sun shines off the frozen tundra almost blindingly.
I think we're going to follow Hal, because he knows where he's at. He's the man to follow.
Let us go, and don't step in the dark snow, because that usually means there's a large ice crevice and you'll fall through and freeze to death.
Oh, that's a good point. And Belladin will take out his snowshoes that we purchased, so he doesn't sneak. He doesn't actually. Well, if we really need it, he can do water walk, which would help us stand on top of snow. But the snowshoes, at the very least, will help us so we don't sink.
And so you all putting on your snowshoes, venture forth down, because I mean you're not on the tundra quite yet. You're still in the mountains. You've come out on the other side. It's a bit of a trek to go down completely down the mountainside.
Well, the interesting thing is, like, there might actually be some pretty deep snow here, but once you get on the tundra, usually it's pretty solid. That's where you need to put on the crampons so you don't slide on the snow. So we might be better off with the snowshoes now, but this world might be different.
You trek down the snowy mountain base, and eventually you start getting a little bit lower in elevation, and you see a rare bush here or there, some trees shed of their leaves for the cold. But as you head further down, the vegetation gets less, and eventually the rocky landscape that would dot around you in the mountain range from the snow lessens as well, till you've reached the base, and the wide tundra is ahead of you.
I think there's a big smile on Hal's face as he looks back over at Belladin, thinking of his family. And he'll give him a kind of not a wink, but acknowledge, like, going home, and smile, and then turn and set up in a...
As Hal turns around and smiles at Belladin, Belladin will give him like a big grin back. But as soon as Hal turns back around, you just see Belladin like shivering that he was trying to hide, and there's just snow and ice forming on his beard, his white beard, and he's like, "Oh, okay, all right."
And I would say it's about noon now once you've gotten down actually from the mountains themselves, as it was early morning when you had exited. The tundra is vast. It is a sea of white, and its most striking feature is its emptiness. As you all travel ahead, I'd like someone to roll a d20 for me, please.
Not it.
I'll do it. I will do it. 12.
12. Minutes turn into hours, and soon the sun starts to fade as it starts to dip below the horizon, and the cold grows ever more bitter as night is soon to come. But your day of travel goes uneventful.
I'll explain as you see the sun start to descend into the sky. I'll look back to Fenthwick and say something akin to, when the sun drops below the horizon, it will get really cold here. So we might have to use your mansion more than once tonight, if that's okay.
Yeah, and Fenfick's really disturbed that he thinks that it wasn't already cold.
Yeah, and all of you notice now that as it was getting closer to evening, the temperature is dropping rapidly. Marisol is almost even with her thick winter clothes, is still shivering, almost uncontrollably. Yeah, I think I would like to be under the dome.
I mean, a few minutes early won't help, won't hurt. We've got a little bit of ways to go. What do you think, Finthwick?
We can stop or we can go on.
We should probably stop because it's going to get colder here, and within minutes.
If you'd like, you could make a survival check. However, as you all look around, the landscape is unchanging. Once again, it's just a vast sea of frozen white, flat all around.
Would you like my help to find something, Al? Or does anywhere matter?
I mean, out here, I don't think anywhere matters. We should be in the dome. We should be okay. Otherwise, I'd say we should start digging a little bit of a hole to sleep in. Keep you warm, as long as we're all huddled together, if you don't mind. I mean, I think Marisol here would probably appreciate the dome.
One of us have a shovel? A snow shovel? Oh, also, Belladin, as we're walking around, I know that flora and fauna is going to be pretty sparse up here, but if he sees any animals, he wants to take a good note of them so he can add them to his shape-changing repertoire. But yeah, if we have a shovel, we should dig down a little bit before we put the dome in.
Belladin can give me a perception check.
See if there's anything we saw throughout the day. Yep, that's about right. Mm-hmm.
Belladin, it's cold.
Yep, I'm freezing.
You've never felt cold like this in your life. And the sun, for most of the day, shining off the frozen tundra is blinding. And you don't really see much.
Okay. Oh, let's dig and then put the dome up. It's really cold.
Hal will pull up his shield and say, "This is how we dig out here." And he'll start making a circle with his shield and moving the ice.
Oh wait, let me use my fusibility with that shield and this stick, and we can make a shovel with it.
Out here, you're carrying too much. It'll weigh you down and slow you down. And as we get further north, we're gonna want to not waste any time.
All right.
So, you dig your encampment. Fentwick, I assume you put the dome up a little bit earlier than usual. You'll probably have to, if you're planning on using the dome till sunrise, you'll probably have to redo it sometime during the night. Are you making any other preparations? I will take that as a no.
Bellin's just going to do his normal water breathing. He's also going to spend some time, given the observations and landmarks that he's seen, start working on a map for this area. So in the dry and warm confines of the dome, he's just going to doing his best to make a map as we go.
I think Hal's gonna, on the windward side, as he's building this hole, they typically pile up the snow to keep any of the wind, if it kicks up, from fully covering them. So at least there's a little bit of a wind wall.
So how you spend some time making the snowdrift to cover where the dome would be hitting from and the wind's coming from the northwest. The dome goes up, you all take comfort in its warmth. Would you like to take any watches?
I think Hal's probably going to spend an hour out of the dome, just taking in the sights. It's been a while since he's been here. And he's been free. Before it gets too freezing cold. I don't know, that's an oxymoron, but
yeah, just before the sun completely sets, you spend the last hour of twilight just looking at your homeland. You find, for the first time in months, a contentment that you didn't even know was missing. And I'm assuming you're also...
He's going to try to talk to his goddess, not expecting a response, but just a little bit of a thank you. Like, he's on his way home. She's got him through the harshness of his teens, his youthfulness, the times where he was stuck building the ziggurat, all the way down to find these amazing people around him. Something more that he didn't expect to find, considering where his head was when he came down here. And like, he looks around, thinks of them as they're in the dome and gives a bit of a nod of thanks, knowing he is hopefully going to be home in a little under 2 weeks.
And as you finish your prayer, the wind picks up a bit, and you feel the icy bite on your cheeks. Whether that's a good or bad omen?
Roll initiative.
You're not sure, you're not your uncle. So, but the sun has set. Do you head back into the dome?
Yeah, he knows that if he stands out here, especially sedentary, he's going to end up, his feet will sink into the sand or the snow a little bit, and he'll end up getting frozen and stuck out here.
I'll give me a no, the dome is pretty small. You come in and you notice Marisol kind of huddled together with Poppy. They're chatting, Core cross-legged, Belladin in his books, and Fenthwick nose in his books, and you see Belladin kind of almost in the center, large parchment spread out over. Well, Belladin, would you like to describe how you're making your map?
Belladin has a pretty sizable scroll case that he keeps a lot of his papers in. He has multiple of them that he keeps in his pack. The tubes kind of all stick out of his backpack sometimes, and different size scroll cases for different size research. But when he's making maps, it's his largest scroll case, and he has it open. It's to his side, and then he's using a spherical object that you see has it wedged against his pack, and then he's got like what looks like some hard boards that he's made a tabletop with, and he's using some measuring tools and some ink and the large parchment. And by the time you come back in, you can see that he's finished making the top of the Dagger Mountains, and then he's kind of started making the edge of the glacial lake, it looks like right there, and then some of the mountains around that too. And he's just putting in some details for what he has so far, because all he has to go by now so far is landmarks. And he's just happy to have the nice constant glow. He doesn't have to deal with candlelight or anything like that, or a torch. There's just a nice constant warm glow inside the dome, and he's just going to work, trying to make sure that he has the distances correct, because what use is a map if it's not correct.
Yeah. And has Hal ever seen this before, Belladin?
Probably before going to bed some nights. You know what? He definitely would have seen it in the tunnels, because just the idea of like, oh, if we need to come back through here, Hal would have noticed Belladin, not in the detail that he's working in this map, but at the very least creating a tunnel network of the twists and turns that we took through the Underdark to get to this side of the Dagger Mountains.
I think Hal would come in and see Belladin working on this, and he'd sit close to him, across from him. The space here is relatively small and confined, but when they were traveling out on the glacier in the past, I mean, captives and workers alike would huddle in the snow to keep warm, and it would be a relatively small space. So I think Hal would sit next to Belladin uncomfortably close, as if it is normal. But he would shrug off his coat naturally, and so he's basically skin to skin to Belladin if Belladin's, and he would watch him start putting in a detail that he's seen. And I think every once in a while, Hal would lean over and point to a location, and he'd, knowing that he's very good with maps and landmarks, not creating them, but remembering them. I think he would point out a few details, and he would say, okay, between the spine and these mountains here's where the Northern Watchers, the giant monuments stand, and he would explain that to Belladin. And I think he would give him, not often, not to be overbearing, because he just likes watching him work. The land coming to life on the map really resonates with Hal, and he would just give him a few pointers here and there, or where he would consider landmarks that we might not have seen. He would point out their different locations to Belladin.
And Belladin, realizing that Hal is like the best resource for this, would ask questions of Hal of like, okay, from where we are now, how long would it take you to travel? And would start doing mental calculations of pace and distance, so that way he can get the proportions of the different landmarks correct.
I think Hal would let him know that from the time we got onto the tundra, if everything was ideal or optimal traveling weather, we'd get there 10 days. If the weather kicks up, obviously we might be stuck for a day from time to time.
Nice. And with that, you see he like takes a couple more tools out and starts measuring the distance on the map. Like, oh, okay, 10 days. And so he knows where to put the landmark. And of course, this is all estimates, because it can't be perfect. He tries to get it as close as he can. And Belladin doesn't take it as Hal being overbearing. This is Hal's a resource of information. and knowledge of this new place. Yeah, I imagine this will not be the only night that Hal and Belladin spend over this map making and the parchments.
And you do have quite a bit of time to do this, as you're all exhausted from the energy spent, but not quite tired enough to sleep yet, aka get the benefits of a full rest. You have some time yet.
And as Belladin is drawing in the detail, Hal will start sharing the names he has for the different locations that might be different from what Belladin is used to or has seen on other maps. Like, for example, the White Dagger Mountains, right? Hal would refer to those as the Scout Fjall, the language is a very terse and cut language, right? Skyrim, Scout Fjall. And then the Northern Verhar, and he'd say the Northern Sea, and the valley of the Baka Fjall and the Scout Fjall talks about how it thaws during spring to summer, nothing like it is now, and just give him some names here and there.
Belladin, I would say that while Fenwick was spending his time researching, there were maps in the Hall of the Crescent Moon, the Library of the Temple of the Woven Word in Ornost. So you saw maps of Olari, even maps of the whole continent of Barud. I would say all the ones that you saw have what they call the frozen outlands mapped in a general sense, right? They have the spine, the mountain ranges, but other than the spine, none of them have names. There are no other landmarks, no other markings. It's all just empty to the north for anyone south of the White Dagger Mountains.
This is a fantastic opportunity then. Put names to these places.
And as the night goes by, you all eventually do find sleep coming. Is anyone taking watches? What color are you making the dome, Fenwick?
What's the general color around us? White, I assume?
White. Yes.
Yeah, might as well make it white.
I would volunteer for a watch, probably early in the day, just to stay awake so we can hear the wind blow, just to remember.
Marisol will try to stay up with you, but she falls asleep pretty early. You can give me a perception check.
Perception is +2, 17.
The wind does pick up near the end of your watch, and it's almost comforting hearing that howling across the tundra. But outside the light that the dome gives off, it's just vast darkness and the cold. On nights like this in the tundra, you don't rely so much on sight, but on hearing and smell and other senses. Nothing is raising your alarms.
Nice. So I guess at the end of the night, seeing the progress that Belladin would be making, I'd probably nudge Belladin awake and let him know that it's his turn for watch, and then he would hunker back down into the location that Belladin vacated if he moves, or probably more near the Nightingale, knowing that he'd rather sleep there for the night.
Sounds good. Switch spots. Maybe there's where you were sitting or is a better sight, because we dug down, right? So I imagine maybe we would make it so that maybe visibility wasn't great on one or multiple sides, so maybe your position was better for that. And I do not have dark vision. You know what? This is a little meta-gamey, but I cast that before I go to sleep, because then for the 2 hours of watch that I have to do when I wake up, I'll have dark vision. All right, so he casts that right before he goes to sleep. He wakes up and he can see. Let's do some perception. Hopefully it's better than a 1. That's better. 24.
24. Looking out with your new found dark vision, Belladin, you look out at the beauty of the tundra at night. The snow glittering from the stars in the moonlight, the sky clear, and it's almost like a sea of glittering jewels. But other than the occasional winter hair you see outlined off in the distance, that quickly scurries off as you hear a cry of some bird of prey high up, your watch goes without incident. So I would say the dome starts to fade, and there's still a few hours left till sunrise. And the cold rushes in suddenly as the dome fades out into existence.
Luckily we won't have the wind, because of we're under the tundra, the top of the tundra. But yeah, it'd be very cold all of a sudden.
You all awaken at the same time, whoever wasn't awake, as you feel the bitter cold rush in around you.
May I remove that last exhaustion?
You can. What would you all like to do in the dark, early morning hours?
I think Hal would probably, once that comes in, tell everybody to scoot over to the one side where the wind blew, probably the snow bake up against the dome, and then, Fenwick, are you going to create another one? We got a couple hours before sunlight.
Sure.
Yeah, we can't unless the stars and the sun or the moon are out, you like can't see anything. So if that's the case, Richard, then yeah, it's really dark, and you wouldn't warn against traveling in the darkness on the tundra.
But it is again only 2 hours till daylight.
Yeah, if it's a ritual cast, then it's not that big of a deal. It's just 10 minutes of cold, I guess, that we'd have to endure.
Yeah, Cor will go ahead and go through his morning kata to try to stay a little bit warmer as Fenwick is ritual casting.
Yeah, during the 10 minutes, the wind picks up, and even with the shelter of the snow wall, it starts to whip around, and the temperature is well below freezing. I'll need everyone to make con saves.
Well, thank goodness for our cold winter clothes. Does that help us at all?
I'll say you do have advantage.
I think Hal probably goes to sleep without his cold winter clothes, just not thinking because he's been south for so long, and he doesn't have his jacket on or anything like that. And the dome comes in. He's like, oh shit, it's cold as hell.
You've been away from home for too long. Hal, Fenwick, Cor, and Marisol are all able... No, sorry. Oh yeah, we got a 16. You're all able to huddle together and wrap yourselves even closer in the cold. And you feel it biting, but you're able to push through and wait. Fenwick is especially important as you were able to maintain continuing the ritual to cast the dome. Poppy, you feel the cold set into your very bones. You're not sure if it's maybe recovering from whatever malady afflicted you from the cave of the cockroaches, your small stature, or just that it's really freaking cold, but you do take another point of exhaustion. But the dome comes up.
Yeah, we'll probably wait until the sun comes out, or at least in Hal, until the sun comes out.
So as you all wait the next few hours for the sun to come up, Poppy, shivering severely, even after a few minutes in the dome, warming up. I would like someone to roll a d20 for today's travel, please.
I'll do it.
13.
I think Hal's going to be more attentive, and I only say this not because I rolled a 13, but because of what happened in the middle of the night. He realizes we're out now on the tundra. Like yesterday it was like, oh, I'm home. We're going home. Awesome. But now he's like, we get stuck out here or something happens, like somebody gets hurt. The likelihood is that they're going to croak out here. And so I think he's ever more vigilant, checking for tracks or other signs of passage, animals, the different of all the different creatures that could be out here and how they hide in the snow. I think he's just going to be extra watchful.
Go ahead and give me a survival check, please. Natural 20 for a total of 26. Yes, and Hal, you are hyper vigilant, tuned in to the environment completely. This is your home. You know it like the back of your hand. And you look for signs of tracks, and you see the normal ones. You see the evidence of large migrations of giant herds of mammoth, weeks old at this time. The soft footfall feet of the wolves that track them, and just the barest traces of this are left in the ice and snow. And you notice some other strange tracks, look like almost giant sled marks that abruptly start and stop. I mean, they start and then they go on for quite a ways with you, and then they stop, like they just disappear. You keep a lookout, and again, after a monotonous day of travel in the icy tundra, your day goes without incident. And you see the sun start to travel again to the western horizon. What would you all like to do?
I think when it's safe, let's head out. And we start heading out. Hal's a little bit ahead of everybody, just keeping his eyes open. Sun sets in the west. So it's going to get cold again, but maybe we dig a little deeper and get a little bit more fortified for when this dome goes out again, because it will happen, and that wind will be, particularly if it's not a nice day, worse.
Go ahead and give me a survival check, Hal, to see what kind of structure you can build to ward off.
I'm gonna use a luck point to reroll that.
Could I just? All right. I was gonna say if I could help him, but it doesn't matter.
19. And you feel like you've done a pretty good job. You made the snowbank deeper and wider this time to more encompass the dome. And your Fenwick, I assume you do the ritual once more to put the dome up?
I do.
Sir Fenwick, if you take second watch, can you catch the dome before it falls?
I think I probably can. I would have to be like next to this one though. But I could have the ritual going and have it completed as soon as the first one drops.
Or you could try to time it for the exact second.
Fenwick, are you taking the second watch?
Sure.
Give me an investigation check to try to time this casting. 16. Is there anything else anyone would like to do in the hours before you all go to sleep? You do have a few hours.
It's actually being more quiet than usual, so he's just been sitting in to himself and thinking. So not really.
I assume Hal and Belladin spent some time going over the map once more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bentwick, you start the ritual for the second casting of your dome. You do a pretty good job. There's only about 2 minutes where the dome fades and the next one pops up, but those 2 minutes you all feel immensely as you once again you are awoken from your sleep by the bitter cold rushing in. The quick sudden change in temperature almost makes it worse because you are warm and content on your bedroll even though it's on the snow and ice. And then within an instant, the cold rushes in. But another minute passes by and the dome goes up once more. But you all get the benefits of a long rest. Before the sunrise, I would like someone to roll for the day's travel, please. Give me a d20.
We'll do it.
I'll do it. I'll get you to do it.
6. Can someone roll me a d10, please?
Okay.
Yeah, Randy, this is your bet, man. You
he who smelt it dealt it.
A 6.
The same exact roll twice with 2 different dice.
The sun rises, and you all leave the warmth and safety of the dome to begin another day of travel. Hal taking point once more. You can see a spring in his step, a small confident smile almost ever present on his face. Hal, I assume you're still keeping watch?
Yeah, hypervigilant. Yep.
You can go ahead and give me a perception check. Anyone else who would be looking about as well?
Perception can do 10.
29.
Belladin. So the rest of you are looking out onto the tundra, and Hal, you see much of the same as yesterday, and much of the same as the day before. You know that especially this trek going through the valley in the heart of winter is pretty monotonous. If cold doesn't kill you, sometimes the boredom will. But most of you keep your eyes to the horizon, to the land around you. Belladin, you, however, are looking for all signs of life. So you look around and also above, and you notice something. Small dot, high in the sky to the east, fast moving. An hour goes by, and it's getting closer. You can now see the outlines of giant wings, seeming to head into an intersecting course as your own. What do you do?
Don't mean to alarm anybody, but how is that normal? And I just point.
Al will turn and look. What are you looking at?
Winged creatures coming towards us.
Yeah, a large winged creature. And I would say now that an hour has gone by and it is getting closer, Hal, you see it now, far off as well to the east, moving with speed.
I think his heart skips a beat thinking it's the Arctic rock. But is it the Arctic rock or is it a dragon?
Hal and Belladin, you can give me nature checks, please.
I'm famously good at this. Oh, I don't even need to roll. Oh, what?
Wow.
Oh my god.
That's 3 natural 20s in a row.
Yeah, between the two of us.
As the group has stopped now to take a better look at this, you cover your eyes and look at its silhouette, and you see a slender neck, a large body, and a tail, and massive wings. This is no Arctic rock. You wouldn't be sure what this was if you hadn't seen one before in the Sacred Grove. This is indeed a dragon.
What color is the dragon?
It's still too far off to really see detail for you. Belladin, you can see it is as white as the ice and snow beneath your feet.
Belladin will gesture to the snow and say, that's the kind of dragon we have to look forward to.
And I think Hal will think about the sled that disappeared suddenly and put 2 and 2 together and like everybody get down. Like lay down, everybody down. And you'll see him like wave his hand and everybody get down and hunker down low in the snow.
You all hunker down, and as the dragon gets closer and closer, you can now see how massive it would be. It's still a little bit of ways off, and it starts to circle overhead. Once, twice, and you feel almost as all of your hearts skip a beat in the tension waiting, and eventually circles once more, and you all see it fly off, back, heading east.
Oh.
And as it moves out of sight, I think Hal will slowly get up, and that's it's not normal. It's not normal out here.
Hal, as you stand up and say that, and the dragon flies off, you hear a thunderous, echoing roar throughout the valley. coming from the dragon's flying form.
We continue on, heading in the direction, a little bit more urgency in moving, at least from Hal. They can yell at him to slow down a bit.
And as you all continue trekking across the tundra, Belladin, you notice it first. More movement in the sky, this time directly ahead of you, coming straight towards you.
Yeah, Belladin will point it out immediately.
This time, however, you see two sets of wings flying close together. It's strange. It's almost blocky looking between them. Brown. You're not sure. It's too far to tell right now. High up.
Really high, and I can't really tell what it is.
Brown? Do I know anything that's brown and blocky that flies in pairs?
I would say no, but you all realize quickly what it is as the speed in which they're coming hits you quickly, as the distance is a little hard to judge in this vast tundra. And you see now two massive dragons flying in tandem next to each other, ropes connecting them, a saddle on their back, riders on top, and a gigantic, massive, almost wooden sleigh. As the dragons fly towards you and cut the ropes, and the sleigh falls and skids along the ice towards your direction, and you see figures jump off. I'm going to need everyone to roll initiative.
Hell
What figures? What figures? Are they orcs?
They are.
Attack!
He's so excited.
So, like, I thought dragons, Hal, is this normal? I thought you said you've never seen a dragon.
Not really normal. Well, we saw one back at the tree, if you recall. It's not really normal, and for 3 in a day, it's not normal either.
Yeah, I don't know if Poppy was there for the ice dragon or the ghost dragon.
So I'll say there's a pretty big boulder ahead of you guys, and you see these orcs start to rush towards you, the sleigh off in the distance still. There's a large group, two different from each side, and what appears to be two riders as well behind them.
I mean, as far as dragons go, these like real big dragons.
The dragons fly off.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yep.
Yeah, the last major return of the dragons was with the drow.
You okay?
Yep,
I realize he's out of jerky.
that's pretty funny.
Hey, is that Elsa? Or,
I think you need to let it go, Adam.
What are those? Why are they so big? So DM, are there really big orcs, or is that just the size of the mounts?
That's the size of the mounts. The orcs are regular size, but they are riding massive white wolves.
Good to know.
I think I'm going to burn a luck to reroll
All right.
initiative.
Go for it.
I can pick. I'm right now at a 14.
You go?
Very nice.
22. Who would be the first one? 20.
2 more natural 20s. Wait, 3, because the orc blade got one.
We're glad we're using them all now.
As these orcs rush towards your position, let's begin combat. Poppy, your first act.
alright. So, Poppy will... I take it, Belladin, you're going to be moving back. So...
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
she'll move behind Core and then bury herself in the snow and hide as a bonus action. I would think that it would take an action to bury herself in the snow.
I would say yes. To do it a halfway decent job, it would take an action.
Yeah.
But if you would like to hide, you can go ahead and give me a stealth check. If you're using your bonus action to hide, I'm assuming, right?
And turn. Fortunately, man, that's so different. Can't do as much stuff.
Al will rush forward towards this guy and ready an attack. He'll rage on his way there.
You see Hal just yell with bloodlust. That is the end of your turn.
I don't know if I like the foundry going, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Belladin.
Okay, so we've got 1 orc on a big white wolf. We've got 4 orcs on the ground. What kind of equipment are they holding? What kind of weaponry do they have? What kind of armor are they wearing?
The ones on foot appear to be wearing hides and thick furs, carrying battle axes. The ones on the wolves are better armored, and they are currently holding a shield in one arm, and you see them holding this massive, almost pole arm, like a lance, but it's made of wrapped together wood and metal, fastenings, and at the end, where the point is, the point is made of what looks to be almost pure ice.
Nice. Nice. Well, this is an oldie but a goldie.
I mean, we spent like an hour staring at enemies flying at us. I'm sure you pulled it out at some point.
It's a shame that it's so small, but I'm gonna get those 3 combatants. I mean, they probably count as one. That is a DC 17 dexterity saving throw.
Start with the rider. 14.
Yep. So he is now glowing, very fired. Nice.
The mount and the rider are both very fired.
I think that's it for Belladin. It's gonna be his turn.
So this rider, seeing this magic kind of take hold of him and his mount, yells out a war cry and shouts orders in Orcish. Hal, you can understand them. He's saying, "Remember, Enix wants these slaves alive."
Yeah, I don't appreciate that direction you're riding in, sir. What is this?
Yep.
Yep, I'm too small. Give it to me.
He actually charges towards you, and as you see him charging, he lowers this ice lance, and once he gets within about 10 feet of you, it reaches you, Core.
Cute. Okay.
There's a 12 hit.
That'll miss.
As you see him kind of charge forward, and you're easily able to dodge out of the way, the mount rears up again, and as it steps down, he tries to hit you with the lance one more time. Does an 18 hit?
No, sir.
And once again, you're easily able to sidestep it. And then its mount is going to use its action to dash. Core, it is now your turn.
Core is gonna go ahead and just go ahead and pull out the bow as he's running to join his buddy Hal. We're gonna come over here and we're gonna target this guy. And let's switch it up this season. Let's get some Suvin Pavenzi out here. Let's see what she could do for me. At advantage. I'm sure it's in here
Bow of
somewhere.
who? You have to say the name every
Bow
time
of
you
what?
attack with it.
God damn it, the bow of Hal Legolas. Where is it?
Dang.
Long bow of Hal Legolas, apparently, is what it's called now.
LBOH.
Did I just roll the same thing twice? No. Does an 18 hit?
18 hits,
Alright, let's do it. Damage.
11 points of damage.
Second shot. Attack. Advantage. Wow. Does a 14 hit?
Is that an advantage?
That is an advantage. I rolled a 2 and a 5. Apparently, Susan the Gentle does not like to shoot people.
14 misses. As you see the one arrow pierce the hide armor, the orc grunts in pain and brings his great axe up in time to deflect the second arrow.
Cool. Yep. That's going to go ahead and end Core's turn.
Right, it is now the orc's turn. I'll go down this guy first. He'll go up and attack you, Hal. Does a 17 hit?
17 misses. Does my reaction go off?
Yes, your reaction does go off.
Dark.
24 definitely hits.
16.
As this orc rushes towards you with its great axe, you see it swinging. Hal, you notice that their axes, the edge, are also made of pure ice, a hallmark, of the crystal blade. But these axes' edges are not honed to a razor's edge. They're flat and blunted.
Nice. I will move him over here.
As you smash him with your own warhammer. That is his turn. This one, seeing you, Hal, as the biggest one, wants the glory for himself. Going to rush up, attack you. 14.
Mm-mm.
That's his turn. This one is going to use his bonus action, aggressive, to move towards, and his movement, move towards you, Core.
Alrighty.
Take a swing at you. Does a 19 hit?
That'll miss.
That's his turn. Let's see if where 45. This one's going towards you. Using his bonus action to move his speed and also his movement is rushing towards you, Fenthwick. I'm assuming 7 misses. This one rushes up towards Marisol. Going to roll a 10 to hit Marisol, which misses.
What happens to these guys running up to the person they saw as the biggest threat in battle?
No one said they were good at their jobs.
So bonus action and movement, and then action to dash. So bonus action and movement, and then another 30 feet to dash. 80 bonus action, movement, another action to dash. Marisol's turn. Let's see. She'll spend one action and cast Blade Ward. That is her turn. Fentwick, you're up.
Okay. Fenthric will move up 5 feet, and then he will draw the staff, and he will cast lightning bolt. So everybody in that line has to make a dexterity saving throw.
I'll start with the closest towards you.
What's your DC?
16.
That's a nat 1. Fails. Hey, nat 20.
Wow.
That's a fail and a save. So we got a fail, save, fail, save for 21 points of damage. No, wait, that's
26.
26. Nice. As Fentwick, you step forward and see these perfectly aligned row of orcs. You hold up your staff, and a charge of lightning shoots forth in a straight line. Make sure to mark off that you did cast a spell from there.
Yep.
As one of the orcs in front of you, Hal, as you see them all arc their backs as this lightning charges through them. The one right in front of you falls dead.
That's my turn.
This one here will use his bonus action, aggressive. He will then use his movement to move here, and he will use Enix's command. So up to 3 orc allies will make an attack. Right. 1 against Marisol. That's a nat 20. 14 points of damage,
Which becomes 7.
which becomes 7. Yep.
Is she still up?
He is still up. She is hurting.
But she's not doing good.
Mm-hmm. This blunt axe swipe at her face, and you see it kind of almost slow a bit as it reaches her, but it still strikes, and you see blood splatter from her mouth onto the snow. She's forced to one knee, and she kind of unsteadily gets back up. This one is also going to attack Marisol. Whoa, that was almost another nat 20. But a 19 does hit, as you see Marisol drop unconscious. And that is his turn. Top of the round.
Come
Core.
at me.
Fentwick, actually.
Of course. Of course, you picked the smallest one.
He's closer, and he sees that orc might die in a moment, so he wants to get its use from him. Do your job, maggot, he yells in Orcish. 23 hit?
Shield.
As the axe swings, you see it illuminating above you, Fentwick. This one's gonna hit. It's gonna hurt. You wave your hand, and an arcane energy surrounds you, and the axe bounces off. All right, now, Poppy, it's your go.
What people don't see is Poppy takes out a piece of apple pie, a crust of an apple pie, eats it, and then strange, weird things start happening in this cube there, affecting those 3 orcs.
Nathir's Mischief.
We have to roll a wisdom saving throw at disadvantage.
Top to bottom. That's a 10 for the top guy. Nope. As they all fail their saves, as you see them suddenly. Is that pie? I haven't had pie in ages. So they are charmed by you, correct? Anything else?
Let's see, until the start of my next turn, Poppy will then... Poppy will go next to Marisol, but she can't do anything at this moment. And then we'll hide. See if we could hide, behind Marisol somehow.
Who are you hiding from?
I was about to say,
Not these 3 guys, but everybody else north of her.
I'll say this is a disadvantage as you are in the open tundra.
Oh,
Bright red hair.
Foundry says,
Nice.
fuck you, the same roll.
You feel yourself pretty well hidden by your newfound allies, who are just looking around for where this smell is coming from, grumbling that they haven't had a proper meal today.
Poppy shows up to what we would call in the industry just bros being dudes.
Mm-hmm. Anything else, Poppy?
No.
Hal, your go.
I think I was going to look to Bellet and yell, "See to Marisol," and see if he acknowledges him.
Thumbs up.
I will recklessly attack this individual with my Warhammer.
The one in front of you is dead, and the one to your left is flashing, so you don't need to recklessly attack.
He didn't ask if
Unless you would
needed
like
He
to.
said he's recklessly attacking.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
I can
true.
attack
That's
both of
true.
these guys.
That's true. Yep. I didn't ask how big the room was. I said I cast Fireball.
I didn't ask if the guy was dead. I said I attack.
That definitely hits.
24 for 14.
As you see this orc in front of you drop under the crushing weight of your Warhammer.
I will move, and then I will attack this one here, reckless.
There you go.
That's 17 damage.
He had exactly 17 hit points as another orc drops below your mighty hammer, Hal, as in your fury and rage of seeing Marisol, the Blue Nightingale, who you've worked so hard to protect, who you've grown quite close to, drop unconscious.
And then I will move forward. Can I bonus actions? I think that's all my.
All right, Belladin,
All right, time to measure. Oh my goodness.
10 points of healing.
And then Belladin looks at the bros being dudes with Poppy, and he's like, I'm sure that's okay. And then moves back another 5 feet with the rest of his movement. He doesn't want to hit any of the charm dudes.
It's somebody else.
Yeah, he doesn't. I mean, he can't really hit anybody else with his Halo of Spores, so it's more of just yeah, he's not really. Where was I right there? No, he would have moved to there. Back away from these dudes. All right, that's it. Belladin brought it back to life.
Seeing as you are the farthest from your friends, he does rush forward.
Hey, someone understands me.
Will use his lance. 17 misses, one more attack. 16 misses. As you were easily able to dodge out, and this orc roars in frustration. And then that was his bonus action.
Where are you going? Why are you running?
50.
What? Where is he going?
4. You're up.
Absolute coward. He's so far. Not far enough. Core's gonna go ahead and target this coward who keeps running away from him. We are going to use. Let's go with some Abigail Whistler. Since Susan's not helping me.
In time.
All right, let's try again. Are you looking? Okay. All right.
You fire off 2 quick shots in succession, and he puts up his shield and both
I guess we're just out here playing pity pat, but
takes his lance and just breaks the arrows from his shield.
actually knowing Fenthwick's tendency to do Thunderstep, Core will not run next to Fenthwick. Core will chase him this way and end his turn.
This orc near you, Fenthwick, is going to swing at you. 21.
Oh, right. Okay, that's right. Shield is still up. Yeah, then I don't do anything. Yeah, I don't need to.
This one, forward, Marisol. Not having good luck right now.
What is up
On
with these
Marisol?
dudes?
Uh-huh.
What the fuck? She's unconscious.
Oh, no.
She's on the ground, so that
Sorry.
would actually be
That was-
at advantage. And it would
That
be
would
an
be an
auto
advantage.
crit.
It wouldn't be an auto crit. She's not unconscious. You healed her.
Well, I mean, she's unconscious now, but she wasn't
Yeah,
unconscious.
she's 100% unconscious now.
She's
Especially
unconscious
if-
now, yes.
Imagine if he would have done 20 HP of damage though.
Yeah, but she didn't die, so we're good.
So these, Belladin, you notice with your passive perception that these blades are not sharpened. They're doing blunt damage, and they are not swinging to kill. They're swinging to incapacitate. Belladin is going to target you. Does a 12 hit? Going to attack. 17
That's a miss.
and a 20.
That's my AC exactly.
So you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage. As they're just grumbling, now angry that they can't find this pie. One gives you a little pat on the head as they go by you, Poppy. Marisol does not need to make a death save as she is not dying. She's just unconscious. Fenthwick, you're up.
I will cast Banishment on the 2 big guys.
Okay.
So they must make charisma saving throws.
Top to bottom, 21 and a 10. So the bottom one fails.
Oops away.
Right as you see him just start to fade away, and he starts pulling the reins on his mount as he's banished to another plane. This orc in this pocket dimension just looks about.
Just glittering. Just absolutely shining with light.
No save on that, right? So he just stays in that pocket dimension.
He just stays there. Yep.
Poppy, you're up.
So first thing I gotta do is move this cube. Can only move it 10 feet, so it'll go there. And then I'll roll again. Apple pie feels there.
Until the start of your next turn. So these ones are no longer charmed by you.
That is correct.
As you see these ones around you, Belladin, kind of shake their head and, I want pie. Hal, you hear the one back here as he's witnessing all this magic and you decimating his troops. He yells out in Orcish, "Who are these maggots?" And he is charmed by you.
All right. And then Poppy for action will go ahead and no, she'll stay there. She'll whip it.
Whip it good.
Right, who are you targeting? You're targeting this one, I'm assuming?
This one, the one next to Belladin,
19 definitely hits.
for 27 points of damage. Hold on. Does that include? Did that include? Because I think they need to make a saving throw,
Yep.
a con saving throw.
Gotta love homebrew items that you make when you're just starting out DMing. So what kind of save? Con save, I'm assuming, right?
Yep. DC 15.
I mean, if he succeeds, he takes half of this, right? So I mean,
Okay, so 27 points of damage. I mean, I don't think you can have. It's still 1, right? Or does it go down
that's
to
what
0?
I'm saying. Like, I'm like, you don't have to roll that con save. Just take
Yeah, it's still 1. So 28 points. All right. As Belladin, the one next to you, you see this black thorn whip with this green ichor on its thorns just wrap around this orc's neck and suddenly tighten. He's not doing too great. He's still up, but he is not looking good at all. As he's struggling and blood is pouring out of his neck from all these wounds as the whip tightened and shredded around his neck. Anything else, Poppy?
And then she will take bonus action dash, and will move 5, 10, 40. No, that's it, because she bonus action dashed. Well, she could travel further. 1, 10, 20, 25. All right. That will end her turn.
Hal, your turn.
Hal will rush forward here, yelling,
And flank Belladin. Perfect.
and he will make an reckless attack at this creature here.
Take Belladin out. Not on a date.
Oh, you guys didn't know that Hal is actually the prince of the Crystal Blade?
25 to hit for 15.
25 hits.
Second attack against the same creature. Crit or 22 points of damage. I got a 20 and a 1 on that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Or 19 and a 1.
As another orc falls beneath the weight of your fury and your warhammer. Hal?
Nice. You crit on a 19.
Yeah.
As you slice through, so what did you hit with? The warhammer? So you crush the skull in, and then you watch as Belladin holds his staff out to it as it starts to crumple, and you see the air thicken around the orc's body, and all of a sudden the limbs start jerking in weird ways, and it comes back up as an orc zombie
Does that happen?
with mold coming out of it.
Is it a reaction?
either way, it's Belladin's turn.
Oh, I mean, Hal's another attack, right? Oh, you did too. That's right.
So it's got 1 hit point. but now we got a friend.
So Belladin is now your turn. Is that concentration? Oh, it's because you're just still concentrating on Fairy Fire. That's right.
Yeah, it's not a magical spell. It's a feature of my class. All right, so I have it go over here.
It has 30 feet of movement, if you'd like.
Yep, and it's just gonna attack its friend. It's got 1 melee attack, so you've got the stat there. You can just roll it.
So, like, doesn't the zombie's turn come after yours?
Yes, it does. All right, so then we can let it go. So on my attack, then, thank you for reminding me of that. I forgot that. Bonus action, Shillelagh, the one to the north. Of course, I roll 3.
14 misses, unfortunately, as it's able to parry your staff.
Okay, so that was bonus action and action. So I'm just standing there now, and then it's just a zombie, and it didn't hit, and that's the end of my turn. I'll be never using this feature again.
I mean, it's a hit point. I'm thinking it's a
It
stack of hit
could
points.
be a good distraction too, you know.
We'd rather it hit that than Mary Soul.
Too bad it can't offer the help option, right?
Mm-hmm. I just want helpful zombies, guys. What's the problem?
Come on, coward.
Going to use his command. So this one's still up. Gonna target you, Fentwick. Guessing that misses. And this one's gonna target you, Hal.
Attack advantage.
At advantage. That's true. Let me roll one more time. No.
Misses.
Now at you, Belladin. 17.
Miss.
As they all strike out at once, and you all easily parry their blows, this mounted orc looks out at the battlefield, sees his companion just gone, another one sniffing about the air, multiple of his troops dead, and one now undead is going to flee. And then his mount's speed as well.
Hal will yell at an orcish. Tell Gogron Tell the iron tusks and the white wolves. Tell the icebreakers and the snowhawks, the frostbones, the blood reavers and the sky seekers that the prince has come home.
If you could see his eyes as he looked back, they widen as he runs off. He's now 100 feet away. Core.
That's a really long message, Hal. Maybe you should have written it.
I'm really, really wishing somebody would try to speak Common or Sylvan at some point. Core looks back at his party and looks at the coward wolf running and picks up his bow and then looks back at Hal again.
He's 100 feet away, so yeah.
Do it.
If
Do it.
if that's the case, then Poppy will shout out a translation.
The translation of what he yelled isn't going to help.
Technically
Yeah.
be 110 feet away from you.
Yep, that's
Four.
perfectly fine.
It does help. It's translated from orc to common.
And he's still glowing, by the way.
Yep, that's why I'm like, it would not matter. Let's do it. Let's see if I can actually hit somebody. Yep. Oh, you bastard. Dirty 20?
30-20 hits.
Let's do it. 9 damage. Let's send that second attack. Gosh darn it. 18?
18 just hits.
Let's go. Damash. Why are you garbage today? And then we're going to go ahead and move. Looking over his shoulder again. No dissent. Shit. Do I step in the wind?
Yes. Do it. He's been running from you the whole time. The whole time he's been running from you.
This bastard. I would catch up. We're both 5 feet off the map. And turn. That's it.
Seeing their leader flee, they also try to disengage. So disengage, flee in all directions. This one, confused, just yells out to you, Poppy. Bye, friend. We'll have pie another time. Hal, you're the only one who understands. Well, I guess Poppy would too with the yarmulke. Venusaur is unconscious but stable. Fentwick.
The guy who's running away from me.
Yes, he would be.
But this guy I can reach out and touch. So, what the heck? I will just throw a second level magic missile at him.
I'm not even gonna make you roll for it.
You gonna split some of those missiles? You gonna split some of those missiles up, or just at him?
No, just at him. I want him dead.
How dare you attack Sir Marindil?
No, he makes sure that he does 2 at Marisol.
All right. Anything else, Fentwick?
Man, drop concentration just for fun.
Yeah, we got one guy left. We can kill.
You once again wrap your whip around its neck and pull back, and its body spins with centrifugal force and blood splattering all over the pristine white snow. Drops dead. Hal, you're up.
I think he's still within 150 feet of me, even if he's at the top. Yes.
150 feet.
That Core is chasing.
145 feet.
I think as he sees Core go after him, Hal kind of smiles and then sets his hammer down as he pulls his own longbow out, and he will attempt to shoot at this creature fleeing, this coward fleeing. It is still glowing.
Still glowing.
Yep.
Still have advantage.
Mm-hmm.
19 hits.
Or 9 piercing.
Yeah, buddy.
Second attack.
Yes.
That is
Ooh.
16 to hit for, not really sure what happened there.
23 to hit.
Yeah, 23 to hit for 6 more. It was like, I can't shoot the bow. What is happening?
Yeah, as you yell out in Orcish, coward, and 2 arrows find true aim under his chainmail armor.
Which orc?
He's technically all the way up here.
Never to be seen again.
The rider that rode north.
Oh, okay.
How hurt is it looking?
It's not looking good. I mean, technically still on the map. So
Yeah, I'm moving 40 feet towards it, with whatever that means.
Before now, what was the last thing you guys heard from me? Like, did you hear me during my turn?
No,
not at all.
Not really.
Nope. We just watched you murder and chase down this other guy.
Yep. That's my turn.
Belladin drops his staff to the ground, walks 35 feet forward, and pulls out his longbow, and takes aim at the
Let's go.
orc that's fleeing.
Wait, this one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got excited.
The rider. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't have a longbow on Foundry, so I'll go to D&D Beyond.
Everybody got longbows, huh?
That's what happens when you give us longbows and crevices.
22 hits. Oh, that's right, you're a ranger now.
Max damage 11.
Okay.
Oh, this is the first time the group has seen dispel it and make an attack with the longbow.
Yeah.
All right. And his shield is just like dangling from his arm. He would have to use an action to reattach it, but he's doing what he needs to do. And then his zombie walks over to this buddy, who's also running away, right?
Yep.
The one with picnic dreams. You're gonna go and
Oh,
eat
that
him?
hits though. That's a 21 to hit. Let me see what the stat block says.
Let's go max damage, zombie. D6. Let's do it.
It's a D6 plus 1. Oh shit.
It's okay. The zombie can just chase him all the way home.
That's not bad.
6 points of damage. Just, but also, like, we're talking about just bludgeoning.
Even if he survives, it'll be, imagine the terror.
I know.
Still in the air.
The
He raised
night-
the dead guy and he chased me halfway home.
No, for real, Fred just kept attacking me. Fred was dead. His skull was crushed in. He kept hitting me, though.
Any movement? Anything else?
Let's go, coward. What you got?
He's going to take an attack of opportunity as he runs from you. You can go ahead and take it at advantage. 14 misses.
Why am I garbage? Why? Okay.
Hey,
So he's going
Core.
to
Hey, Core.
go 150 feet.
Have you tried not being garbage?
He's going to movement, action, dash, and then his mount's going to take its action to dash as well, to move as well.
How far is 150 feet?
What I was trying to do, I just didn't hit enter. But yeah, so that's his turn. Core, you're up.
All right. We're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to go ahead and go old school with the Kimberly Ann Hart and see what happens because the other people have been betraying me today. Longbow attack exactly 150 feet away. Why did I just roll once?
There it is.
Fish for that crit.
Fish for that crit.
Why'd I roll advantage that time? Whatever. That's the second attack.
Yeah, it was a natural 19. 28. 28 was
So I need
better.
to roll one more.
Roll one more. Yep.
Fix for that crit.
No
That's
crit.
not
So
a
they
crit.
both attacks hit.
But 2 hits. Damage. And why? Why?
6. Okay.
It's human nature? Is that why? God damn it!
He's looking real hurt as there are multiple arrows sticking out of him, but he's still up.
I'll burn another key point. 110 feet.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn, Core?
That is the end of my turn.
This one's dead. That one's dead. Action dash.
Poppy will take an attack of opportunity.
Yep. 24. And you get sneak attack. Do you get sneak attack?
No.
So
Oh, that's right, because it's not advantage.
Mhm.
Yep.
I mean, do you want to give him sneak attack?
no. And con save.
Oh, this actually happens first, but it doesn't really matter because I can't move it into anybody. That fails. So 6 for another 5 points.
Although now that he mentions it, you could move the spell over 10 feet.
Yeah, but that's not within anybody's.
It won't? Isn't there somebody to the right?
10 feet is here.
What?
He's unfortunately correct.
Oh, that's true.
All right. This one just is going to flee in terror as fast as he can from his zombified friend.
So it's just an action, and then is it dash? Does he disengage?
Nope. Just
All right,
runs.
so that's an attack of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Zombie gets reactions? Let's go.
That's a miss.
Fentwick, you're up.
Is Marisol just unconscious or is she dead?
You can go ahead and make a medicine check for me.
She's been rolling death saves this whole
He's
time.
asking because he wants to do a coup d'etat.
Mm-hmm. She appears to be unconscious. Doesn't appear to be bleeding out or dying.
Like knocked out.
Oh, okay. Well, if she's not dying. So the clown who's riding away, how far is he from me now?
300.
200 and something.
Yeah.
Okay. So way too far.
200 and yeah.
We still have some friends on the field though.
And you have one that has left the field.
Yeah, opposite directions from you.
I'll move a bit closer to that
Nice. We leave no survivors.
guy. Yeah. How many resources do I want to spend here?
We do have one more guy.
True, but he's like future us problem. I want to throw a firebolt at that guy who is down here.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
that
much more
misses.
excited when I heard fireball.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw a fireball at one guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 13 unfortunately misses as your fire bolt goes wide.
That's all I got.
The glare of the snow, it can be a bit tricky in longer range.
Oh, it's not my turn. That's why it's still on Marisol. I was wondering why I couldn't click end of turn.
Poppy, you're up.
Bonus action dash. For
16 hits.
another 10 points.
Okay. Con save.
Yep.
17.
That succeeds.
Still up, hurting pretty bad. As you were just whipping this guy mercilessly. How?
I think as he sees Corvan chasing this guy down and the guy not making slightly more distance than Cor, he'll like pull his bow back and then he'll like point it in the air and he'll fire. So
Let's
it'll be
go.
at disadvantage, but at advantage.
So, yep, just canceled out. Mm-hmm.
Straight roll.
Regular roll.
That's all right. We got one more.
I'm gonna use a
Let's
go. Yeah, buddy.
That hits.
5 points of piercing.
4. As you chase after this rider, behind you, you just hear this whistling sound as an arrow, arcing up, descends from the sky and pierces this orc's neck. And he slumps down, and he slumps over onto his mount.
Maybe the wolf knows Orcish, so it'd be able to pass along his message.
They're one entity. It went through the orc's neck into the wolf's neck. They're one entity.
Dang. Double kill.
Perhaps. And then he'll turn and step one step to the north and fire at this creature running away. Actually, I'd probably go here and step around the corner and then shoot at him. I'll use another point of luck.
Yeah, burn it all down.
20 for 7 piercing.
Still up. Belladin.
Belladin will hold the longbow in one hand and then reach his hand out towards this fellow. And you watch as these like icy tendrils of roots come up out of the ground and grab at his legs. And this is just flavor. There we go. I think a 25 hits.
That hits.
And it saps his health, draining him of 10.
You see him grow sluggish. But he's still up.
And then Belladin turns around and just kind of gives a dismissive wave to the zombie, and then just points to the ground, and it crumbles and dies because they don't eat it anymore.
It unceremoniously just slumps to the ground once more, an unmoving corpse.
And that's Belladin's turn. It's action.
Its mount continues riding another 100 feet, uses its action to dash. And you see, Cora, ahead of you, descending from the sky, 2 massive white dragons.
That's kind of cheating. Interesting. Not much I could do with that. Whatever, screw it. I'm still shooting at this wolf. It's not like I'm gonna outrun the dragon. So, do I still have advantage, or did that go with the orc?
No, I rolled. I said that they were both affected by it.
You put a real dog on the field, so I feel worse. Okay. Let's go ahead and shot number 1. 24 to hit.
24 hits. And these wolves are actually wearing armor. So
And damage, great. Good to know. All right. And roll again.
22 hits.
Another 11 damage. And yeah, I'll go ahead and just go chase it. So 55 more feet. Good. That puts me at 165. Yeah, that's fine.
This one, please, from you, Poppy.
Yeah, she'll do another attack of opportunity.
Mm-hmm. They are panicked now at this point, not thinking rationally. 14 misses.
Misses.
You have enough means to probably kill these remaining orcs as they flee for their lives.
Remember, we got one guy who's still banished.
Yep. So I'll say this, Core, you see these massive 2 dragons fly towards you.
Uh-huh.
And you see now that they are also wearing some sort of large saddle, orcs atop their back as well. And they fly down and in their taloned claws pick up the wolf and its dead rider. And with a blast of icy, chilled wind, fly directly over you. The winds from their wings buffeting you as they fly high into the sky and away. Belladin, you also notice more to the east, another winged figure, larger, similar size to the one you first saw, circling overhead and then flying quickly further east. Now, there's about, I would say, 6 rounds, so you about half a minute, let's say, before your other friend returns. What would you all like to do?
I call everybody back to me, and we surround the area where he vanished from.
Hal will pick up his warhammer as he gets ready.
Yeah, that works.
And as you all surround the spot that Fentwick points to, Belladin, you looking off to the skies to the east to see this massive winged dragon flying in speed to an unknown destination. You await the return of the last orc of the Crystal Blade. Do what you will.